Hi, everyone. It's Joe Veneri, the host of Fit Insider, the show where I talk with the entrepreneurs, executives, and investors who are redefining the business of fitness and wellness. Today, I'm joined by Echelon Fitness CEO, Lentine. In this episode, we discuss the company's growing connected fitness platform, including smart bikes, treadmills, rowers, and an interactive workout mirror. Lou explains how Echelon was able to build partnerships with 12,000 retailers, including Walmart, Target, and Costco. Plus, he talks about the company's plans to release gaming-inspired content and strength training equipment in an effort to become the hub for at-home fitness. A quick reminder before we get into today's show. Every Tuesday, we send a weekly newsletter filled with insights and analysis on the business of fitness and wellness. Join other decision makers and industry operators by subscribing at insider.fit.co. Let's get into it. Hi, Lou. Welcome to Fit Insider. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me here today.
Looking forward to today's conversation. And as I mentioned, I think most listeners are going to be familiar with Echelon. But to kick things off, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us about what you're working on?
Yeah, my name's Lou Lentine. I'm the CEO of Echelon, also the founder. Started making fitness products for Echelon back in 2015-16, and we launched Echelon in 2018. And we've been having a great ride ever since, growing the business tremendously year after year.
Yeah, and I think most recently you can, to the extent that you're comfortable talking about some of the numbers, I think this year kind of anticipating in the $200 million revenue range. Is that accurate? And how do you think about or quantify like the user base, members, and what you're striving toward?
It's in excess of $200 million is what we're striving. Our revenue goal is much greater than that, but in that vicinity, and our subscriber base has grown tremendously. I mean, I remember just a few years back, 3 years ago, we had like 7,000 members, and now we have hundreds of thousands of members. So it's been a great growth curve for sure. We were really early in the connected fitness market, and we were able to grab some great market share and have great partners with major retailers around the world, actually.
Yeah, I certainly want to touch on all those different relationships and how the business has evolved. I think initially, obviously, we've seen this acceleration during COVID. A lot of these things were trends in place long beforehand. And a lot of the companies now who are leaders in the space launched well before the kind of pandemic. But as you think about the at-home or connected fitness landscape, where does Echelon fit in? How do you see that space continuing to evolve, hopefully, as we start to put the pandemic behind us?
Well, I think Echelon is unique in the space. Number one, we have a very broad lineup of products. We have products starting at $500 for bikes, going up to over $3,000 for a commercial bike. And we have treadmills. We launched our first treadmill earlier this year, and it's now our top dollar selling product at some of our channels of distribution, which I was just shocked that it jumped so high so quickly. We also have rowers, we have fitness mirrors, and you'll soon see strength and other modalities coming from us in the near future, plus a brand new bike we're going to be launching at Best Buy. So we're very broad in our product mix, which is great for the consumer that they can have a connected experience for, starting at $500. But if they want to go for that Rolls Royce version of it, the best of the best, they can buy our higher end model, which is over to $2,000. So we have a very broad mix. Our channel, our distribution channel is not only B2C, which is about 30% of our business, 25% of our business is B2C through our website, and the rest is through our channel distributors, the Costco's, the Walmarts, the other ones, and Sam's, Kohl's, Target. I mean, we have relationships with pretty much every major retailer in the U.S. and Canada, with the Canadian Tire and Costco and Walmart up there. This year we got Vendor of the Year last year for Walmart, which was a big achievement for us, being such a young company. To get that is remarkable. And in my time of doing product development and selling products, we've never been able to accomplish something like that. So we have a very broad product mix, which is different. We have over 100 instructors. We film live classes every day, thousands of live classes filmed every month. I think we have about 50 a day we film. And we're across so many modalities. So I think we're different in that case. And our customer is very mid-America. It's very We have a really broad customer mix that I think we are really resonating with. They like our instructors. They like what we're doing. They like the fun we're creating in our fitness instruction as well.
Yeah, that all makes sense. And in thinking about that, when you look at, obviously there's comparisons made between Peloton and Echelon, but iFit, formerly Icon Health and Fitness, has been in this space forever, since the 70s.
Forever.
And you talk about price point, and you talk about this retail distribution.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thought process like in the retail distribution that, you see a Peloton or Tonal who's doing the white glove kind of fully integrated delivery installation, but you said, hey, we're going to go through all these channels, including, as you mentioned, Costco and even Amazon. Was that the intent from the beginning? And like, how has that kind of evolved as you thought to get this product to different customers?
Well, my background has always been selling to the major retailers and having great relationships with the retailer partners. So I always intended to create a product and bring it to that marketplace. We're in over, I believe my last number I saw was over 12,000 retail stores. And that's just phenomenal to have that reach in almost every small town in America and Canada. We're there with our partners. So, we've always wanted to go that way. Our B2C business is, as I said, it's still 25% of our business. We're using it for product launches. We have exclusive launches coming soon with a partnership with Warner Brothers. We're excited to launch some unique products. We also did a bike with one of our partners, Pitbull, that will be launched as well. And you're going to also see a really cool camouflage coming out this holiday bike that we're doing with Mossy Oaks. So we introduced a unique product through the website and also new products. We launched our treadmill there, and it was before it got to retail. It was on our website for 6 months. During that process, we were getting reviews out. People were reviewing it. We had great reviews from Men's Health and other types of places. And then we get our processes down and we get our production ramped up, and then we go and we hit the retailer with the product at retail. So the customer is aware of it prior to going and seeing it on the shelf with our marketing.
Right. Do you think that approach will change things? Do you think that basically others in this space will say, hey, why aren't we pursuing this opportunity in retail? And do you anticipate that, kind of having to fight for shelf space, so to speak, as these different competitors try to get into the retail locations?
Certain competitors can't do retail because a few things, their product weighs too much or the product requires a full installation process. So it's challenging for them to do retail. They can do a retail display, but the customer's not going to walk out the door with the product. And it requires a installation. As I said, our products, our key retail products meet FedEx guidelines, so it can ship, it's packed properly. And, it also is, retail packaged as well for the retailer. So I think they're going to have some problems with that. Now, we're hoping with our strength machines coming out soon and our other modalities that we're going to start getting even more floor space. And, our strong reputation with the retailer that we ship on time, we figure it out, we make things happen, and that they're going to appreciate that. And our product sells, it doesn't come back. Customers are happy. And that's a big thing as well. And, if you look at some of our reviews online, I think our reviews are right up there with anyone else and surpassing companies that have been in the market for many, many years. Product on Walmart under $500, and we're almost a 5-star rated with thousands of reviews. It's unheard of. People have never seen these type of responses before.
Yeah, you mentioned the kind of range of the products, the price point, this retail distribution, and kind of starting with this mid-America consumer in mind. As you're thinking about that customer persona and then kind of focusing on them where maybe others in the space aren't, how does that inform the decisions you're making from whether it's marketing or content or other equipment? How is that informing the strategic decision-making, make sure you serve that customer?
Well, I'll tell you, we've grown up a lot over the last few years. And one of the major parts we've invested in, we took investment recently from Goldman Sachs. And a lot of that investment was done in our back end and understanding our segmentation of our customers. And, I sat in a meeting earlier today with our head of content. just going over what's resonating, what classes resonate, what length of class, what instructors are working, what instructors are not resonating. So we really study that. We're a data company, as much as we are a fitness company. We're studying that data, and when we see surprisingly cool down rides are very popular right now. When we see a cool down ride, we produce more of the cool down ride. We have right now. We just opened up a new facility, has 8 more studios. So our company now has 16 studios globally that we film classes every day. So, when we see something resonating, a certain type of instructor, we make changes for that. And, we're still nimble enough that we can do it on the fly as well. So we monitor it weekly and make adjustments. If it's music, if it's content, if it's length of class, if it's an instructor, we'll make a change. And obviously, it's the same thing with the product mix. If we see a product is doing well, we're going to obviously develop in that mind as well.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of staying focused, keeping tabs on the content, what's working, what's not. Obviously, both the instructors and the music are huge focal points when you're thinking about any of the fitness companies producing content. Thinking about maybe the instructors first, how are you cultivating talent, building that maybe pipeline of instructors, and do you think overall is it kind of a focus to say, hey, we want instructors who have big social media followings, the kind of personas and personalities that maybe you see with other digital fitness companies and even boutique studios? Just how are you thinking about the talent aspect overall?
Well, all our talent is homegrown. We have our facilities are in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we pull from Atlanta and Nashville and Tennessee. We also have a facility in Miami, which pulls great talent. And a lot of the instructors down there have worked for other, the Berries, any of the other fitness companies, they've worked for and been trained well. And, they've come on board and work with us. I mean, we pay more than any other major that I'm familiar with in the business. Maybe the P guys in New York pay a little bit more because it's New York prices. So we pay our talent very well and treat them very well and train them also not only to train to our style, but to also work the social media as well, because that's very important for them to engage with the customer. Our other studio in the UK, and then we have one in Paris, outside Paris, and one in Hamburg, Germany. There's 2. They're also creating great content in UK. It's a little different market, UK, European market, but we're seeing the engagement actually even from the US users and Canadian users just loving the content being produced in the UK. So we look at this. I mean, do we look to hire people with great social marketing numbers? They're in the millions. We do look at that. There are select areas of the business. As we produce so much, we produce boxing classes, we produce meditation, we produce yoga. So there's so many different types of classes. Sometimes we do need a specialist in that area, and we'll look for that person. And if it works well and we think they resonate with our customer base, we'll give it a shot.
Right. And then the other aspect of that being the music that goes along with it, artist partnerships, the overall entertainment factor. You mentioned the partnership you recently signed with Pitbull that is pretty expansive, from content to the equipment to, I think, even some merchandise that you all will be working on together. Mm-hmm. Does it ultimately just turn into an arms race to secure these licensing deals and partnerships? How do you see that the music component continuing to evolve?
I do see that a little bit. I mean, I've been watching that go down a little bit, and sometimes we feel like someone's listening to our conversations when we see what's going on out there. Like, hey, didn't we talk about that 3 weeks ago? Doing that, but we created this Pitbull channel similar to how Sirius has the globalization. So we created that where it's all Pitbull type of music, and it's just his music, but other music. He actually launched today "I Feel Good" song. Just launched today, and that song is our anthem that he wrote for us, and it's also the name of his concert series that's coming out shortly, all across the U.S. So we're going to have our bikes on stage, and we have instructors using it. So we're really embedded with Pitbull. He's such a great guy and such a visionary, and I've had some great times and great conversations with him already, and become a good friend with him. But we also, work our team. We have a music team in house. that works with, people like Lady Gaga doing her 10th anniversary. We've got several different partnerships like that, and we're continuing to work with the music industry and secure opportunities. I will be actually flying next week and spending 3 days with the music industry, meeting with very high level people and going to an event with them to help secure some more content and entertainment, because we think it's important. The music is such a vital part in fitness, and we're using real music. We're not using, we're using synced real music, and there's only a couple of us in the industry who has the catalog level that we have. Most people are not using that. They're using, they're using programs which are more randomly selected. So if you want 80s genre, it's going to play 80s genre. But if you do the same class, it's going to change it up the next time. That's not how ours are. Ours are beat synced, and our classes are built around the music as well.
Right. There's so much that goes into that. You mentioned the meetings that you're having with the music industry, so much so that they're basically saying they anticipate, fitness being in the top 10 or 5, maybe revenue drivers as this digital and at home continues to play out. Almost to, I don't want to say to combat that, but maybe as an alternative to that, we've seen this idea of the gaming inspired content catch on. There's companies that are launching that are solely focused to that. There's companies that are in the talent driven instructor led classes who are, shifting to that. Do you anticipate doing anything on the maybe video game or interactive content side?
Our gaming will be coming out very soon. We have not announced it yet, but I guess I am right here. But we will have gaming. We will have gaming for bikes, for rowers, and treadmill. It'll be coming out very soon. I hope to have it ready for holiday season. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's
coming.
Yeah, it's exciting and a cool little nugget that you dropped in there. With that, as you think about the different companies who have the different approaches, right? And you could name now what's a growing list of players who they focus on a modality, they focus on again this gaming inspired content. They have gone primarily direct to consumer. Whatever the initial wedge into the market is, do you think that you'll just have to get to a point where in order to compete, these companies will have to offer everything, a portfolio of products and modalities and genres of music? Or do you think the kind of standalone single equipment makers, whether that's in strength or rowing or what have you, can survive on their own?
Deep question you gave me there. I think when you have multiple modalities, it's a great benefit to the consumer when they have one membership for their fitness content rather than having multiple. Getting a rower from one company, getting a strength machine from one company, and getting some type of fitness bike from another. I mean, you're talking hundreds of dollars a month. If they can get one membership with multiple products, and which we're seeing a huge amount of our customer base buying a rower, buying a treadmill, buying a reflect mirror. So I think they're going to have challenges. I think they're going to be in the future. You'll see companies merging, and the standalones probably will have to get more modalities. I believe it's going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah, I kind of see that being, with that in mind. Do you look at that and say, hey, we would be active maybe on an acquisition front? Or is it, you've kind of had the model done where you can develop this in-house and maybe that's not as attractive where maybe other players would look to consolidate the space?
We are currently looking at our opportunities for mergers and acquisitions for sure. So I probably have, a few conversations, every few weeks with companies, smaller companies. Some of them only have 1,000 members and they're just getting started. And we're looking at, if they have a strong team and strong tech, we love the technology part of it. We'll look at it and see if it fits for us. So we know we can't develop everything ourselves. We're very unique. We have almost 50 people right now in our tech team down in Orlando, Florida, a whole center just designed for our app technology. It's very rare people do this in-house. I don't know many people who do. I mean, I think I can probably name one or two. So we're doing it all in-house still today. And, we hope to build that tech team to probably 150 people in the next year. because as we continue to create new features and technology, yeah. So it's definitely. It's definitely, I don't know. I don't think it's, I've heard from one of my competitors, winner takes all. I don't think winner takes all is what's going to happen here. There's room for several great companies, and there's a bunch of them out there.
Absolutely. That's, you mentioned as you think about the different at-home products, it makes sense to have one membership, go out and purchase multiple products and have that as kind of the access point and maybe a point of differentiation for people that are able to build that portfolio of products and services, right, for the consumer. The other side of that is the in-person and how that fits into the overall, customer experience. Are we working out at home? Are we going to gyms? The word that comes up is omni-channel fitness.
Sure.
Echelon certainly has studios where you can go in person, but it's also for production, right? So does the studio in-person experience, does that play a large role in where you're headed in terms of engaging with those people in person as well? Or is it purely just a matter of like the studio production aspect?
Currently, we have 2 locations, Miami and Chattanooga, where our members come down and visit. They have a blast. Our instructors are so open. I see pictures of our instructors having coffee with them in the morning or drinks with them at night. So, our instructors are amazing, and people have a great time, and they spend a lot of money on merchandise because we have great merchandise in our studios. But I don't, our goal is not to open a bunch of studios around the country. We are planning on having our new mega studio that opens in Miami early next year. It'll have a rowing, a treadmill, and a cycling class where people can come and visit and ride with our great instructors to great music. And then we'll have Chattanooga, where we have 2 different places where they can either row, run, or bike as well. So we don't plan on opening more like that. We may have one in Europe as well. And as we get in Asia, maybe have one in Asia, but that's not our goal to do. Now, as the omni-channel, I think omni-channel is great. I think gyms need to look at that. Gym membership is great if you have a at home, and if you have a in the gym. A customer customers are loving that at home experience. They know they don't have to go to the gym every single day. They can do some of their workouts at home or all of their workouts at home. So I think gyms are going to have to adopt, and you're already seeing that happen right now. You're seeing that with Planet Fitness. You're seeing that with several others. And, we're having conversations with a few ourselves as we sell our bikes and our rowers and treadmills and our mirrors into these gyms right now, where they can get that Echelon connected experience within commercial gyms. So I think it's very important. The gyms need to look at not only their smart connected experience within the gym, but they also have to look at how can they adopt and connect with these members at home.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to ask about, the kind of commercial B2B relationship. Is that we've seen, whether that's different at-home companies selling to hotels or apartment buildings, for example.
Yep.
We've seen maybe a purely boutique studio create content for a connected fitness company. And so they're running that through kind of the pipes, and that's how they're getting their distribution. What did the conversations look like now? Are you currently kind of selling B2B, or is this something, hey, we want to make this happen? We're not quite sure what it looks like yet.
We have 3 times more salespeople going to B2B than we do to the retail business. So it's very important to us. And, we're talking to the major hotel chains. There will be an announcement of one major one that we've recently landed soon. We're also, talking to the chains, the gym chains. And we've started off with a few tests last year, and these tests are rolling out to full distribution with our products within the gyms. So we're very excited about that opportunity for our business. I'm not sure about this 100%, but I believe when you talk about music licensing, we were the first connected fitness equipment company to have the license to actually sell product with licensed music into the gyms. That's what I was told. And we were negotiating that they've never negotiated that before. So we were excited to get that and be able to bring that truly musical fitness experience, connected experience to the gym. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, with every question that I ask, your answer is pretty much yes. Like, yes, we're doing it. We want to do it. We're going to do it. And that it almost has to be that way, right? Just given all the activity and kind of the rate of growth that the industry is experiencing. Almost as far as I'm looking at it, the last piece of that we haven't seen everybody quite get into yet, but it's kind of trickling up is, what other products around that consumer can we create? Peloton's reported to be working on maybe a watch or a heart rate monitor, made some acquisitions in the space. Is it a smart speaker or voice activation, all these other things? Do you think about now building this platform around the fitness consumer, or is it more down the path of like, hey, let's give them the equipment and that membership that they need?
We're building a hub of fitness for your home. And that's the future of fitness. You're going to have a hub that's going to connect with your other smart home automation. And we believe that's something that's the future. And, we're investing into that as well to be a leader in the home with true fitness, calendar integration, everything integrated together with your home automation. Wake up in the morning. What's on my schedule today? You know what's on your schedule. You know the workout you're doing, and there's a lot of AI that's going into that as well that we're invested heavily into. So we can recommend the class that's right for you. We know what you did the last 7 days, and fitness is not just cycling. It's not just yoga. It's not just core HIIT classes. I mean, you have to have a variety of fitness that's right for you in your time of life. And that's our goal, is to have that recommendation engine that will learn from your past and your present activities. So I think it's very important. And as I said, our tech team is going to be growing threefold, if not fourfold. And it's very important for our board, and we're investing heavily there to be the best.
Sure.
That's out there.
Right. And I think that's going to be the case for any of the kind of leading companies in the space if they want to be taken seriously, but continue to grow and expand their kind of market share of mind and share of wallet, really amongst the customer is, how do we get into, you mentioned this recommendation, but certainly sleep, mindfulness, recovery, potentially nutrition, all of those things that go with it. So no shortage of things, kind of different areas for you to expand into and things that you're thinking about as we get towards the tail end of the conversation, kind of framing those things up through maybe the second half of the year, just given that summer's coming to an end, we're getting into the fall. What does the maybe roadmap look like, or how do you think about, hey, these are maybe the benchmarks, milestones that we want to hit through the back half of the year to say, this is successful, we're on track to where we want to be?
I mean, obviously, there's challenges in the marketplace right now. I mean, freight issues, the cost of freight coming in is unbelievable. I'm just looking at the challenges we're having there. Chip shortages, we've all heard about that. Cost of screens are expensive. We're so challenged right now with margin requirements, but we're working very hard to get through that. So to work through that and continue to supply our customer and hit the demand, I believe there's going to be big problems with supply coming in the fourth quarter. As I said, the cost of container went from $3,000 to $5,000 to $15,000 a container, and there's people who can't get product in right now. Even I'm talking to one of the largest retailers, and I'm like, "Can you help us?" And they're like, "We can't get anything either." So that's going to be a challenge, and we're going to work through that and make sure we're confident we're going to be able to succeed there, but that's a challenge. Our engagement with our customer, we just got to have our engagement keep going up and up and up. Our lifetime value, LTV of our customer, we have to keep that. So we need to satisfy the customer on all levels. It's a very complicated business, and this is not just making a product, selling it to a retailer or to the consumer directly and be done with it. This is a long-term customer that you're engaging with, and we're creating a brand that's a life brand, and people are really loving it. And I read Facebook and Instagram every single day, just reading the posts of people having huge changes in their lives and their body shape and their health from using our product and just being happy. And that's we want to be happy. We want people to be happy and have fun. with fitness. So it's a goal of us to continue to do that. So our customer is important in a business. We want to make sure we work through all the challenges and also get ready for the next step in Echelon, which we're working hard to get to that next place as well.
Great. And as we wrap up, we'll get you out of here on this. You look across the landscape, there's a variety of companies who are kind of lining up to go public, others that are potentially tempting the waters. Echelon reported, hey, is it a SPAC? Are we raising additional funding? I know that you can't talk about the specifics, but just how are you thinking about continuing to, fuel and accelerate growth with the various financing, liquidity options kind of sitting out there?
Well, I mean, we did announce that we hired Jefferies, and Jefferies is looking at the SPAC process, and they're also looking at mergers, acquisitions, selling. We're looking at everything. We're about the company and where the future is. And we've already had deep conversations with a possible merger with a public company. So we're not kicking the tires is the right word for it, but we're looking around and seeing what's best as we continue to grow this company. We have something very, very special, and I don't think anyone else has been able to do what we've been able to do. Our team is just remarkable. Every day, I'm just so impressed with what they've been able to do, and our customers, our members are outstanding. So we're looking, are we going to go public? Are we going to merge? Are we going to just bring on some additional capital? I mean, we've raised less than $100 million. That's peanuts compared to everyone else. And to be where we are today, and just raise that small, I mean, it's a large amount of money, but when you compare us to our competitors who've raised hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and not doing the business we have and have the distribution we have, and I think we're in 9 countries now, opening up 2 additional countries this year. I mean, I'm sometimes shocked at how we've been able to pull this off and with such a little amount of money, but that's how I'm used to running a business. I'm not used to running a business and just taking, getting someone to strike me a $250 million check and say, go build the business. I mean, we built the business and then took on some money profitably. So it's been remarkable what we've been able to do. And I think the market is going to award everyone for this.
Sure. Yeah. When, framing it that way, it's when you execute, it creates all the opportunities, and being in the driver's seat with those various opportunities, is very interesting and kind of leave us with a little bit of a cliffhanger there, but we'll certainly be following along in terms of what's next for maybe those who don't know or they're interested in learning more. What's the best way to kind of check out Echelon and keep up with everything that you're working on?
EchelonFit.com, join our Facebook group or Instagram group. And we also have a blog as well on our EchelonFit.com. And yeah, keep an eye on us. I'm telling you, we're doing some great things, and I just can't wait I can't wait every morning I wake up and excited to keep doing this. It's fun. We're having a blast, and we're creating something really special.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking a few minutes today, Lou, to share that with us, and certainly looking forward to share this conversation.
Great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks everyone for listening to today's episode. For more from Fit Insider, visit insider.fit.co and subscribe to our weekly newsletter for insights and analysis on the business of fitness and wellness. Then, go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. See you next time.